Hi everybody, Mischa here with Word of the Day, and there it is, conundrum. What does this noun, conundrum, mean? It is a mysterious, difficult, complicated problem that's really hard to solve. Maybe because there are so many moving parts and diverse interests, maybe because there are mysterious elements that we just can't find. But a very easily identified conundrums today in the real world would be things like, how do we protect the environment while we move forward with industry? Or how do we solve the problem of homelessness? That's a complex problem with a lot of moving parts, many of which people have tried quite hard to keep invisible. All right, so that's the word conundrum, a big enigmatic problem. Now, where does it come from? Well, that's a conundrum. Nobody knows. And I mean nobody knows. They don't even have a reasonable etymological chain to anything. It just appears in 1596 in the writings of Thomas Nash. Now, Thomas Nash, I love this guy. He was not uncontroversial. He was part of the whole Shakespearean London scene under Elizabeth during the English Renaissance. So we're talking Shakespeare and Christopher Marlowe, Ben Jonson. He was part of that whole scene. And they would have feuds, lots of feuds. Thomas Nash was a pamphleteer, a poet, and a playwright. And once he got into a lot of trouble writing a play with Ben Jonson. Ben Jonson got locked up by Queen Elizabeth, and it looked like, that might be the end. Thomas Nash beat it out of town and just hid for a while. He was pretty broke at one point and wrote some poetry a la the Roman writer Ovid, which was deemed to be pornographic. And his response was, yeah, well, if you don't want me to write this stuff, pay me for something else because I got to eat. And I must say, I read part of that particular poem that he wrote, and I am so happy to report that I am still capable of being shocked. Whoa. Okay, now, conundrum. How can we use this word today? Well, how about this? One of the biggest conundrums we have right now is how to change our educational system. I'm not going to say reform because we really have to just throw this one out. We need educated citizens in order to run a democracy, people who can think. This is a conundrum that we have. Or another conundrum, how about this? This is my favorite. The Voynich manuscript. 240 pages of completely indecipherable language with strange illustrations. It dates from the early 1400s. We don't know much more about it than that. And even AI has been unable to decipher the Voynich manuscript. Oh, that makes me so happy. Anyway, if you like etymology and you like to read about words and you like conundrums, you're going to love this writer, Susie Dent. Susie Dent makes etymology so entertaining and such a pleasure. So this one, Word Perfect, is a lot of fun. But if you're going to buy a book like this, not from the big boys, okay? Not from those guys. We want to support independent booksellers. So click above or below at bookshop.org/shop/word of the day, and I'll see you later.